Good morning. We have discussed corrosion and completed the complete corrosion module. So, a new part of module is metal finishing. Today, let us discuss what is metal finishing and how metal finishing is carried out. So, metal finishing is one of the corrosion control technique and is also carried out. Metal finishing is also carried out by electroplating, electroless plating, and hot dipping process. So today, let us see what you mean, what is metal finishing and how it is carried out. So metal finishing is a surface property. So we have some metals. For example, we have aluminium or iron. We have iron. Iron is very good conductor, but iron undergoes corrosion. We are supposed to protect iron from further undergoing corrosion. So how do we protect? We're going to coat some metal on the surface of that. So by that we can prevent corrosion of iron, isn't it? So we have some other metal, but it's having all good properties, but it cannot conduct. For example, we have plastic. Plastic is good, does not undergo corrosion, duration, long life, everything, but does not conduct. We can make it conduct. Okay, so we are going to impose some surface properties for the metals by depositing a layer of one metal or polymer or oxide of another metal, so that we can induce these type of properties in the metal. That is called as metal finishing. So the metal finishing in general is defined as a process carried out to modify only the surface properties of metals or alloys or plastics, etc., by depositing a layer of other metal or polymer or forming a oxide. Okay, so let us see what are the applications of this metal finishing. It is usually termed as technological importance. So where it is used. So metal finishing is mainly used not to prevent corrosion. So it will provide corrosion resistance as told. So iron undergoes severe corrosion. So in order to prevent metal from further undergoing corrosion, we are going to deposit zinc on the surface of iron, isn't it? That is one thing. Next, to give decorative surface, that is chromium plating, to provide thermal and electrical conductivity, to improve hardness, to impart optical reflectivity. For few surfaces, we have a very good conductor, very hard, but it will not have optical clarity. So for that, we're going to we're going to anodize it. Okay, or we're going to galvanize it. So when you galvanize it, will get a lustrous surface. So to impart thermal resistance, to improve hardness, to impart wear resistance. So anodizing. So you know that anodizing we already discussed in corrosion chapter. So anodizing is going to increase the thickness of the oxide layer on the surface of the metals, aluminum and aluminum like metals. So due to wear and tear, the naturally developed oxide layer will tear off. So in order to prevent that, we're going to anodize the metals, and we have seen how to anodize aluminum also, right? So by doing anodizing, we are imparting the wear resistance for the oxide, and we're going to impart abrasion resistance also. The best example is anodizing. So these are the importance or applications of the metal finishing. So now the question arises, how metal finishing is done. So as I told you initially, metal finishing is mainly one of the best technique for corrosion prevention. Okay, so metal finishing is mainly done by hot dipping process. So we have seen how hot dipping is done in galvanization. So complete video we have seen how hot dipping is done in galvanization industrially, isn't it? It is done by electroplating process, it is done by electroless plating process. So to keeping the hot dipping process aside, so in metal finishing, in as per the syllabus, we have only electroplating and electroless plating. Okay, so now we discuss only about electroplating. In our later discussions, we'll discuss what is electroless plating and how electroless plating is carried out. Okay, so electroplating. So electroplating is nothing but depositing a layer of one metal on the surface of another metal by passing DC current. So the metal which takes coating is called as a base metal. So depositing a metal on surface of base metal. What is base metal? So base metal, the metal to be coated or metal which takes coating is called as base metal. So if I want to deposit zinc on surface of this pen, then this is called as base metal. This is called as what? Base metal. Okay. So if I want to This is base metal. So when I am depositing a metal on surface of this on a base metal using DC current in an electrolytic solution, then it is called as electroplating. Electroplating, deposition of a metal on base metal is called as plating. Deposition is called as plating. Since you are using DC current, it is called as electroplating. Since current is used, it is called as electroplating. Depositing a metal on surface of base metal using current is called as electroplating. So electroplating consists of electrolytic cell in which anode and cathode are dipped in an electrolyte. Okay, so we'll just see how it is. So electrolytic method, electroplating is done by two methods. One is anodic consumption method, other one is electrolyte consumption method. So electroplating bath usually will have a anode and a cathode, and both will be dipped in a electrolyte, okay, or a plating solution. The electrolyte is usually termed as a plating solution. Both anode and cathode are connected to a DC power source. So we have an anode, we have a cathode dipped in plating solution connected to DC power source. So this plating, electroplating, we can be done by two methods. One is anodic consumption method, other one is electrolyte consumption method. Okay, so let us see what is anodic consumption method, what is electrolyte consumption method. So irrespective of anodic consumption method, electrolyte consumption method, always cathode is the base metal, metal which takes coating. Metal which takes coating is the base metal. Okay, metal which takes coating, that is base metal, is always the cathode. Let us discuss what is anodic consumption method. So in anodic consumption method, so the metal which to be coated, the metal which to be deposited is made as anode. For example, if you want to deposit copper on the surface of a base metal, copper is made as anode. Okay, if you want to deposit copper as copper on surface of base metal, copper is made as anode. So copper, when you pass the DC current, what will happen? At anode, copper undergoes oxidation, liberates Cu2 plus ions, okay, and electrons. This Cu2 plus will move towards the cathode and it will undergo reduction by accepting electrons, and that Cu will be deposited on the surface of the cathode. Okay, so this is, since your anode is consumed, it is called as anodic consumption method. Since anode is consumed here, it is called as anodic consumption method. So next, likewise, there is a small video here which shows you how this anodic consumption method or electroplating can be done. Okay, let's go through this video.
Here we have an iron key. If we coat it with other metal like copper, nickel, etc. that doesn't get rust, we can use the key for a long time. To get copper plating, we need a small piece of copper, electrolyte, which is a copper compound, like copper sulfate. It is very easily available. 5-volt cell or 9-volt is enough to supply required electricity. First we make copper sulfate solution. Now we connect the key to negative side of the battery using a wire. Then we put the key in the solution. Now we connect the copper piece to the positive side of the battery. You may add a switch to start and stop electricity flow. Now let's see how electroplating works. When electricity passes through the copper sulfate solution, copper sulfate molecules break down into copper and sulfate ion. Now copper ion, which is Cu++, gets attracted to the negative electrode. Here the negative electrode is the key. Then copper ions receive electrons from there and it turns into neutral copper atoms. Thus copper is deposited on key. When copper is deposited on the key, copper plate supplies copper ion to the solution, and that's why copper plate starts eroding. Now this way we can get nickel plating too. To get nickel plating on a key, we use piece of nickel instead of piece of copper as positive electrode, and we use a nickel compound as electrolyte like nickel chloride or nickel sulfate. These are very easily available. Electroplating is very useful. Iron is very cheap, however iron tends to corrode and rust. So we can make things with iron to make it strong, and then put a coating of nickel, zinc, chromium or tin to make it more durable, and all thanks to electrolysis and William Nicholson.
You have seen how electroplating is done, right? So that is done by anodic consumption method. So there is another method called as electrolyte consumption method. So electrolyte consumption method, irrespective of anodic consumption method or electrolyte consumption method, always what is cathode? Cathode is base metal. Okay. So now I am supposed to deposit copper on the surface of the base metal. So how do I deposit copper on the surface of base metal? So what I do, I mean, anode is inert here. Electrolyte consumption method, cathode is base metal, anode is inert. But I am supposed to deposit copper on the surface of the base metal. So what do I do? So from where do I get? Because anode is inert, completely inert. So from where will I get? I am going to add soluble salts of copper to electrolyte. When I add soluble salts of copper to electrolyte, the copper sulfate will dissociate to give Cu2 plus and SO4 2 minus. So this Cu2 plus will move towards the cathode and there it will accept the electrons and get reduced to copper. So this copper will get deposited on the surface of the cathode. So since here the electrolyte, the concentration of Cu2 plus is reduced, it is called as electrolyte consumption method. Okay, the metal ion concentration is reduced in the electrolyte, it is called as electrolyte consumption method. Done. So usually example for electrolyte consumption method is your chromium plating. Example for your anodic consumption method is zinc plating, etc. Thank you.